As of yesterday, September 30th, Twitch is cutting all South Korean streamers' transcoded quality to 720p from the currently available 1080p. Now, why is Twitch doing this, you may ask? Money. That's right. Twitch is doing this because money. The Korean government has proposed a network usage fee be applied to platforms that cause heavy network traffic, such platforms like Netflix, YouTube, and Twitch. Now, Twitch isn't the only one upset about this current change or a little concerned about money. If passed, the bill would require that content platforms partner with local ISPs to pay a standardized fee. Response to this proposal from content platforms has been uniformly negative, with both Netflix and YouTube threatening changes to their services for Korean residents, and Twitch going the step further in responding to the bill by limiting the quality at which viewers can watch streams. It was noted that the proposed bill would essentially make internet service providers double charge users and video streaming platform companies like YouTube while providing the same network services. Mo money, mo problems. This doesn't affect other users of Twitch or YouTube or Netflix in other countries. It is specific to South Korea at the moment. It does bring up a question of, are there any other solutions besides limiting quality? And yes, there is. Twitch addressed that they have tried implementing a peer-to-peer system. Through the months of July and August, they partnered with some streamers and tested it out with their communities to see how it went. They said it worked really well, it would be viable for a lot of service providers, but it does need more testing. Now, if you're like me, you read about this or you heard about this announcement, and you ask yourself, what the heck is P2P? Well, let me tell you, it wasn't what I first thought it was. P2P stands for peer-to-peer connection. What this means is that instead of having to use a server like Twitch to upload the information to then be downloaded onto multiple computers, the computers would communicate amongst themselves. So peer-to-peer is almost like a back and forth conversation between computers without having a third party present, that third party being the server. In a client-server model like Twitch, computers would upload information to the server, right? When you're streaming, you're uploading your information to Twitch's server. Twitch is then downloading all of that information to any PC that is requesting that information. And that's how your stream is delivered from your computer to the rest of the world. With peer-to-peer, instead, computers would communicate with each other directly, and information could be split up in two different ways. Some P2P apps are based on the Nutella protocol, where each user shares whole files with other users. That's grabbing an entire packet of data and sending it over to the other computer. While many of the other P2P apps allow for users to share pieces of many files with each other at the same time, kind of like how BitTorrent used to work. So not that any of us ever used BitTorrent for any kind of nefarious reasons, but of course, when we would use BitTorrent to download completely legally downloadable content, you could also seed that content, right? And seeding that content meant that you were then making that content available to be downloaded from your computer by other computers. Let's say it was a royalty-free song that you were torrenting. You could have the first 2 seconds of the song being seeded from one computer, where your computer would then grab it, download it. The next 5 seconds would be from another computer that was seeding it, grab it, download it. And just like that, piece by piece, your computer would reach out to all of the other computers that were currently seeding that song and put together the whole file back at home base. And so the way that would work with Twitch streaming is that different parts of your stream quality, I'm not sure, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. This is my understanding of it. It's a very general understanding, but this many pixels would be available on this PC downloaded directly from the computer that was uploading it. This many pixels available on this PC, this many pixels available on this PC. And while they're rapidly communicating with each other to exchange this information, they're able to piece together those small parts that are available on all the other PCs to create whole images. So from all those little parts of your stream that are sent out to the individual computers, whole images are created and shared throughout. So here's like a quick little example of how it would work. Let's simplify this down to 4 computers. So if you have a peer-to-peer network of 5 total computers, with one of them being the origin computer, or the computer that the streamer is on. The streamer would send out the top left quadrant to one computer. They would send out the top right quadrant to the other computer. The bottom left to another computer, and the bottom right to another computer. From here, these computers would then exchange the information amongst themselves. So the one that had the top left would share information with the one that had the top right quadrant, thus filling in the empty spaces for the 2 of them. The one with the bottom left would converse with the one with the bottom right, thus filling the bottom half of the images. Then the bottom right would converse with the one that started with the top left, and the computers would continue to communicate with each other back and forth, having a conversation in between and amongst themselves until you have a completed image on each and every computer. And so this differs from how media is currently streamed. The way it's currently streamed is the host has to send a complete copy of the file to each member of the audience, and once the bandwidth has been exhausted, any new audience members cannot see anything. So as you can see, once the computer sends information to these 3 computers, using up all of the bandwidth it currently has available, and this 4th computer can't connect because all of the currently available bandwidth is being used up to send out this information to these other 3 computers. So to solve this issue, the bandwidth would have to be increased, or the quality would have to be lowered so less bandwidth is being used by the other 3 computers. Of course, there are some concerns and issues with peer-to-peer. So another issue with the client-server model is that servers typically have multiple clients requesting from them at the same time. So you have all of these computers requesting from the server at the same time for the same batch of information or different batch of information. So servers have specialized software and require more processing power, memory, and storage than a peer-to-peer network would, because with the servers, they have to store and maintain info for multiple clients at a time. Versus with peer-to-peer, it's a small amount of information stored on every individual computer and then shared. And after that, it doesn't need to be stored anymore. VODs could still be stored on a centralized server and uploaded for later usage. It has nothing to do with that. It's just for the live stream itself, sending out that information and saving those little bits in packets and computers that they then toss and scramble and hang out with each other to create that full image and allow for 1080p quality without clogging up the ISP networks as much as they currently are. But that's about as far as my understanding goes at this point in time. I did all this research. I hope to help other people understand it, because I know, like, when I first looked at it, I had no idea what it really meant. I had that general sense of what it meant, but I was by no means an expert, so I really wanted to do a little bit of research and kind of condense it down to the dummies version for individuals like myself who kind of just want to know everything. Hopefully this helps you to understand things better. If I got anything wrong, please feel free to let me know in the comments, or if you have any more useful information, or if you want me to do more research and get more into depth in what this means for streaming in the future, what possibilities could be, how Discord could take over the entire world if they decided to implement P2P streaming with their already immense user base. I don't know. I feel like there could be competition there. Come on, Discord. We can do it, right? Thank you guys so much for watching. That's P2P asked and answered. I hope you enjoyed this little informative segment, and just let me know if you'd like to see more content like this. And if not, I will go cry myself to sleep. Until next time, please make sure to asked and answered. Woo-hoo!